We're back now with a look at the major shift happening in Miami. A Democrat winning the mayoral race for the first time in 28 years. Democrat Eileen Higgins earning nearly 60% of the vote, beating out Republican candidate Emilio Gonzalez in last night's runoff election. Higgins, who served on the Miami-Dade County Commission, also became the first female mayor in Miami history. And Mayor-elect Eileen Higgins joins us now live. Mayor-elect, we thank you so much for coming on Top Story and somebody who is from Miami-Dade County. Congratulations on your win. I'm incredibly curious about how you see the politics of South Florida, right? Because just a year ago, sort of Miami-Dade County was in the first paragraph of almost every election story written because President Trump had turned that county from blue to red. And now you've won in a very decisive manner in the city of Miami, which is a blue city, we should say. But what did you think you learned from being out on the campaign trail? What can this election tell us about the rest of the country, if anything?
Well, for me, this election, when I was talking to voters, came down to two things. One, the first bucket is frustration. They were frustrated with the city hall that had a reputation for nothing but corruption, yelling and screaming on the dais, a permitting process that can last for years before you can fix your own home up. And they wanted a government that worked for them. I brought a track record of results from the county, so they trusted me on that. But in addition to that frustration, there's a level of fear that I have never heard from our residents before in my previous elections. The politics or the policies of trickle-down hatred that are so concentrated in anti-immigrant fervor are really making people afraid. And they wanted to know they had a mayor who would speak up for them. In a respectful way, not in a demeaning way, value their contributions as immigrants versus disrespect them.
You said you plan to explore legal ways to unwind an agreement between the city and the federal government that empowers police officers to conduct immigration enforcement. How will you do that? What will that look like? And are you afraid you're going to open yourselves up to legal action from the federal government?
So that agreement is actually with the state of Florida primarily. The state required us to enter into this, except that it wasn't a requirement. The city of Miami should never, ever have signed that agreement. The city of South Miami with Mayor Javier Fernandez, he went to court and found out they did not need to sign it. Now, the legalities of unwinding that agreement are different, and it may not be possible. In which case, what I will do as mayor is make sure, obviously, we follow the law, but we are going to have as minimal impact and as minimal involvement in immigration enforcement as legally possible, because that's not the job of local law enforcement. We're supposed to protect schools and make sure kids feel safe in their parks and that people can walk home from public transportation at night. We're not supposed to be picking up people's family members on the street, particularly under the kind of regime of immigration ideas that
Mayor-elect,
they are implementing now.
It sounds like you're going to take President Trump head on this.
The federal government is completely in charge of this. And President Trump and I have found common ground on a number of things. For example, both in the first term and the second term, he has been not just helpful, he's actually given hundreds of millions of dollars for 2 mass transit projects that I've championed, one of which has just opened. So when I can work with the president and collaborate on things where we find common ground, like infrastructure, I'm going to do it.
But let's be clear here. Yeah, no, I get that, and I appreciate that. But let's be clear here. Do you not want ICE agents in the city of Miami?
I do not want ICE agents in the city of Miami. Let me be clear. We have one of the lowest crime rates in the United States of America. That's why this is a fabulous place to live. It's because our community policing strategy works. And guess what? Most of our residents were born in a different country. That means we do not have criminals that are immigrants here. We have hardworking people, family members, mothers, fathers, parents, school children. We are perfectly capable of maintaining a safe and vibrant city and a wonderful economy on our own.
Another focus of your campaign, as well as your opponents, was affordability, right? It's going to be the issue of the midterms. It was the issue of the last election. Miami is one of the most expensive places to rent in the U.S., recently ranked number 6 by Zumper, with a one-bedroom median rent of $2,600. And that number is growing at a faster rate in Miami than nearly any other city in the country. What's your plan to slow that down?
So we have been at the tip of the spear in the affordability crisis when it comes to housing. One of the reasons the residents decided to select me is I tackled that issue head on as county commissioner. And in my terms as commissioner, I have already built and opened over 4,000 units of affordable and workforce housing. And so when I talked about the fact that we're going to build more affordable housing, I didn't talk about it. I was able to show people I've done it. They can tour these places, and many people are living in them. So they know that when I promise I'm going to work on something, I do that. They liked what I did at the county on making sure we're accelerating construction of affordable housing units, and that's exactly what I intend to do as mayor.
Your predecessor, Mayor Francis Suarez, ran for president. He was there at City Hall for a very long time. How is your administration going to be different?
So Francis has done a great job at making sure that we're attracting new businesses to come to Florida, particularly in the technology sector. We're going to continue to do that because if you're not embracing the future economy, you're fading into the past. But I'm going to be a full-time mayor. I am not going to have any outside employment. So the people that work at the city of Miami should expect to see me at City Hall every day. And that's how we're going to deliver better services for our residents. That's how we're going to fix the broken permitting system. That's how we're going to accelerate affordable housing. That's how we're going to make sure that drainage projects are built more quickly so our streets don't flood. I'm a mechanical engineer by training, so I really look forward to getting into City Hall and getting to work in a way that's different than our previous mayor.
Mayor-elect, I love Miami, so I wish a lot of luck to you, and I'm sure you'll be back on Top Story soon. We thank you for joining us live tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.